Hi, it's Lindsay Diane from DianeDecor.com. In this video, we're going to talk all about fancy serveware items that you can use to style your buffet tables. Now, when it comes to hosting, the essentials come first: your plates, your glasses, your utensils. You want to handle all of your basics first that are going to make your gathering functional. And then after that is the time to really style it up and get fancy with a few showstopper display pieces. And that's what this video is all about. These are by no means must-have items. They're just fancy extras that you can use to really style up your buffet table. So let's get started with number one. Number one is teacup and saucer display stands. Now, if you are doing a brunch where you want to serve coffee and usually we would have a smaller group if we're going to do something like that. If you want to do a small gathering where you're using your real china or your real cups, go ahead and get a teacup and saucer display stand. This is not only going to make efficient use of the space on your table, but it's just a really beautiful display. So again, if you're doing like a brunch or maybe you're doing high tea, this is great for that. Also, if you're serving a dinner party and you're sticking to the traditional etiquette where you serve coffee after dessert, this is also another really great option. They come in a lot of different finishes. A lot of them are either gold or silver. You can find some acrylic ones as well. They're inexpensive and they're a great way to not only transfer your items to the table, but you're able to keep them together without taking up too much space and having to set out every single cup and saucer together along your table. So if you want a more buffet style high tea or a buffet style brunch, go for a teacup and saucer stand. Next up are tiered serveware displays. So these are either tiered trays or tiered bowls that are all connected together with a frame. Usually you have, of course, the largest one on the bottom. These are really great. Sometimes they have a larger bowl at the top and a smaller bowl at the bottom, meant for chips and dip. Or you may have a 3-tier stand and you can really play with the items that you put in there. So let's say you have 3 tiers of bowls: a large bowl, a medium, a small bowl. You could do like chips, pretzels, peanuts. Or if you had fruit, you could do, watermelon slices and then strawberries and then blueberries or something like that. So these are really great. Again, they keep everything together. Things that you're meant to serve together, you can put in these tiered displays. And they also are much better at taking advantage of the vertical space on your buffet table. So you don't have to have everything side by side, taking up a lot of room, whether it's on a table or maybe on your kitchen counter or your kitchen island. You can run out of space really quickly. And having the tiered displays means that you have a taller stand and you can take advantage of that vertical space. They're, again, inexpensive. You're going to find these under $30. They have a ton of them on Amazon, and they're a great way to start to cluster some of your appetizers or fruit displays together. Glass water pictures and carafes are a great way to elevate your beverages at your event. So instead of just having bottles of soda or bottles of punch out, you can use different little carafes, whether you want to do juices or sodas. You can have the ones that will allow you to infuse fruit and herbs inside of your water. So if you wanted to do like a cucumber mint water, you could do that. Just make sure that the pitcher that you're using really is set up as a diffuser. So you either want one that has a core in the center where you can put your fruit or herbs inside of it, and it allows the water to get to it, but you don't have lots of bits floating around so that when you go to pour, people aren't getting chunks of stuff into their glass. Alternatively, they have ones that have sort of sifter tops on them. So it's a larger pitcher, everything's kind of floating together, but at the top there's a sifter sort of area, and it will stop the large chunks of fruit or herbs from going into the drinks. You can, of course, always use a regular pitcher. So lots of people use the Carafes if they want to do mimosas or champagnes, and they may have cranberries or blueberries that you intend to come out with the juice. That's fine. Just know where you're going with it before you choose your vessel. But this is a great way to elevate your beverage station if you don't want to just rely on having a bunch of juice cans and soda cans and plastic water bottles. This makes for a very elegant display, and they are very affordable. Taco stand holders are a really versatile way to display items that you want people to be able to pick up easily one by one. So you don't, of course, have to have tacos. They're meant for it, but you don't have to be using tacos. You could do egg rolls or spring rolls, or kebabs is another great thing to display on these sort of accordion stands. It will allow guests to easily pick up just one single item without necessarily having to stack them all on top. You may have something that's a little bit delicate. You don't want to just pile them all into one big pile on top of a tray. Instead, you can use these little taco shell holders, and they will work great for a multitude of items. Donut stands are another one of those items that will help you take advantage of the vertical space instead of having to be spread out. So if you think, okay, I have 2 dozen donuts or 3 dozen donuts that I want to offer to my guests, and you have these big giant boxes, they're going to take up a lot of room. And moreover, people are going to have to keep opening the boxes and lifting them to sift through to see what they want. Either that, or you're going to be stacking assorted donuts into a longer tray, which is going to take up space on your buffet table. Instead, you can go for some of these cool little donut stands. They're almost like little pegboards, and you can put like donuts on a little kind of spigot, I guess, on a little pole, and people can pull off the ones they want. This would also work great for bagels as well if you're doing a brunch situation. Acrylic buffet risers are great. They'll run you anywhere between $25 and $50. These are essentially just elevated trays. So unlike the tiered tray where you're going to have multiple levels, these are really just meant to elevate a platter off of the tabletop surface. So reasons why this is good: you can use these elevated risers to put desserts or appetizers on, and then utilize the space below them. You can set napkins, you can set utensils. It just helps you maximize space, and it just looks really pretty. The acrylic displays are nice and sleek and modern. Of course, you can find them in other finishes as well, but they are a great addition to any gathering. You can set them up the night before. They will help you sort of get ready ahead of time. You can have a plan for where you want certain things around your kitchen or around your table or wherever you're setting up, and you can kind of mark them the night before if you'd like, and you say, okay, cupcakes are going here and tarts are going here and cookies are going here, and it just makes the setup really easy and really functional. If you want something really fancy to display your desserts, consider getting a lighted cupcake tower. Now, these are just very cool. They come with LED lights attached to them so that each of the little acrylic levels are lit up. And just cupcake towers in general are a really great way to go, because usually if you're going for a cupcake offering instead of cake, there's lots of cupcakes, right? So you might have a sheet cake that only takes up but so much room, but when you're talking about cupcakes and you're talking about 24 or 48 cupcakes, they can really start to eat up space very quickly. And so having them in this vertical tower is a great option. And they're very cool. They come in a lot of different shapes, so a lot of them will make a little pyramid for you, or you can have a circular tower that makes it look like it's almost a layer cake. But for sure, check out the ones that are lit up with LEDs if you want to make an extra splash. Condiment Caddies are a fantastic way to elevate your barbecue or any other serving where you have lots of little condiments or toppings for your food. So if you have like a dessert or like an ice cream bar, you could put all of your little strawberries and fruit and gummy bears and things like that in these little condiment caddies. Or alternatively, you can also use them for things like pickles and peppers and onions if people are putting together maybe tacos or burgers or hot dogs, things like that at a barbecue where they're looking for all these little individual toppings. These are a great way to kind of keep everything together. You don't have to have the jars out, right? Because that kind of takes away from the aesthetic, having those like, you know, Clausen pickle jars all over the place, or your mustard containers, or your ketchup, or whatever you have. You can put them in these nice, beautiful acrylic displays, and you can have just, usually they have 5 or 6 compartments so that you can have different items. Lots of them will actually sit into like a little basket where you have ice on the bottom so that it will keep those condiments cool and fresh for you if you're using these outside, or if you need to have them out on the table for a long period of time. It will keep everything nice and cool and fresh. These are really inexpensive. You can find them around $15 or $20. So think about using some of these items next time if you want to get rid of some of the bottle clutter that you may have out whenever you do barbecues or just hosting events. If you are not into having your food out on a charcuterie boards are very popular, but people are still very germ conscious nowadays. So the alternative to that is to have appetizer cups. Now, these are little cups that are pre-prepared. You can have little skewers of fruit or olives and cheese or meat and cheese, and have them in individual cups that people can just pick up and take with them. So they are easy. You don't have to worry about people having to fumble around with tongs and spoons and touching stuff and not knowing what goes where or what's supposed to be paired with what. You can make it easy for everyone and put together little skewers together and place them inside of the appetizer cups, and you can just have them on a tray where people can pick them up and grab them and go on about their way mingling with other guests. They are a very, very cool option. Before, this is something that you would only really see in catering, but you can buy all of these things now on Amazon as a regular consumer. You don't have to necessarily buy them in packs of 100 or 200 like you would at the restaurant supply store. Now you can buy them online on Amazon. Usually you would get around 50 cups for $10 to $20. Lots of times the cups come with skewers as well, but just look around. They're relatively affordable, and they're a great alternative to having a charcuterie board. Next up is a cone display stand. Now, traditionally, these are used for ice cream cones, but frankly, I feel like this option is really limited because, you know, how long are you really going to have ice cream just sitting out on a little acrylic stand? You know, they're going to melt. The shelf life of this display is very limited. But what you could use them for is in conjunction with the appetizer cones and cups that we spoke about in the last section. So a lot of those appetizer cups and cones will fit perfectly inside of an ice cream cone display stand. So instead of just having them flat on the table, you can elevate them and slot them into these little cone display stands and have a beautiful look for your appetizers. Next up is fancy paper plates. Now, the options that are online now are far superior to anything that you're going to find in the grocery store or in the party store. Now, of course, Party City used to be the best option, but they are unfortunately going out of business. But they used to have themed plates for everything. But nowadays, you can go on Amazon and find the same themed plates, a larger selection, a better price at Amazon. And of course, if you go to the grocery store, you're going to see like the Dixie plates, and while they may have little flowers on them here and there, they're not like a high-end pattern. I'm talking about paper plates that will make you think that they are real plates. They will look like real pieces of china. I'm going to show a few on the screen here. Kate Aspen is a really popular brand for this. They are known for their really beautiful prints. And these are well worth the investment. If you are thinking about doing like a dinner party, maybe you have 10 or 12 guests, these are worth it. You will probably get around 20 plates for about $10 to $15. They're good if you want to go outside with them. So if you are doing a dinner outside on your patio and you don't necessarily want to be bringing your nice china outside, and you don't want the cheapest of cheap paper plates either. You want to have a nice, pretty elegant display, especially if you're doing like a baby shower or something like that. You want to have something nice to look at, and these are the perfect solution. I haven't seen any place else where you can find them locally necessarily, but you can find them on Amazon, and there are a few other sites where you can buy them online. I will leave them linked in the description box below. Next up are cake pop display stands. Now, these are very popular. You see them all over the place, but not all are created equal. Usually the ones that I see are the cheaper cardboard ones. Look for some nice cake pop display stands. This will really help elevate your dessert table. It will save space, of course, and it's hard to display the cake pops. I mean, you can go the route of using like a floral foam and kind of sticking them in there, or you can use the cardboard displays, but the nice acrylic ones, the tiered acrylic stands, are probably the best, and they are relatively inexpensive. You can find these for under $30 on Amazon, and they will just give you a nice way to compactly display a bunch of cake pops that your guests can easily pick up and enjoy. We're almost at the end here. The next thing that I want to share with you are disposable cocktail glasses. Usually when we have large numbers of people in our home, we may not have enough drinkware, especially specialty drinkware like cocktail glasses, to go around. So you could pick up some cheap little martini glasses at Dollar Tree or Dollar General, but they are much, much nicer options online, especially on Amazon. You can find really, really gorgeous designs that will make you look twice and think, is this plastic or is this glass? You can find martini glasses that you can use not only for drinks, but you could put skewers in them if you want to serve appetizers out of them, or little fruit dessert kebabs out of them. You can do that. They of course have stemless champagne glasses. There are lots of different options on Amazon for disposable cocktail glasses. So think about looking for something special, especially if you're going to have a signature drink with your party or your event. Think about having a nice signature glass to go with it that everybody can kind of pick up and use, and it's not a red Solo cup, and it's not a super, super cheap, cloudy kind of Dollar Tree glass. These are a little bit more elevated, and they will give your event in your table a really nice look. You can get these in a set of like 24 from $10 to $20 or so. And last but not least are disposable dessert cups. These are really great, especially if you want people to be able to take something on their way out the door. They're great for putting just a little piece of cake in there. You can top it with whipped cream or top it with some berries. You can do yogurt parfaits. A lot of them come with little spoons and lids, so they really are designed to, one, keep your food fresh and covered. So if you have them out on the display stand, you don't have to worry about stuff blowing into them if they're outside or people coughing on them and things like that. They really are a little self-contained kind of to-go containers, but also people can just walk around the party with them in hand, and it's really easy to just handle, and then they can trash them when they're done. Again, they can take them to go. Just because they're dessert cups doesn't mean you can't use them for other things as well. Of course, you can put other items in there. I would just check the temperature rating on some of these things if you want to put hot items in there. But otherwise, they're a really pretty display. The nice clear acrylic ones are just look nice and sleek and modern, and will absolutely upgrade the look of your buffet table. That's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. I will leave links to all of the items featured in this video in the description box below. Don't forget to visit me at dianedecor.com. I post all about home entertaining ideas over there. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.